Randy Robinson in Life Today, and I have a wonderful guest today, Anthony Evans. You might have seen him on The Voice or here on Life Today. He's been with us. He's here, he's going to sing, but first I wanted to get a little inside look. I haven't talked to him since he was been on The Voice, and I think maybe some things have changed. We're glad you're here again.
Thank you. Glad to be here, Randy. Good to see you.
So what all's happened, man? I mean, you know, lots of people watched you guys on the show and online.
Yeah.
I mean, you really blew us away.
Thanks, thank you.
What was that like?
It was a very unique experience, obviously, going from leading worship at events. I literally went from leading worship at an event back to L.A. when they called us back. And that night, I got to the hotel, and the producers called and said, hey, Christina wants to have you over for dinner. So I literally went from leading worship at a church to Christina Aguilera's house, sitting around her table and talking about life and trying to, so that's a big contrast. But the whole experience in all, starting with that, being at her house and then meeting my new friends on the show, it taught me a lot about what the dynamic is of interacting with people who aren't necessarily this viewing audience, you know what I mean? Like interacting with people who don't know what church is. Christina came and sat down on her couch and said, so you're a pastor's kid, right? And I said, yeah. She was like, okay, explain to me this worship leading, because my files say that you're a worship, so tell me what that's about. So I had to think about, how do I tell her what worship is, you know, because I don't know how to necessarily do it outside of church talk, you know? So it was an eye-opening experience on the stage, but more so off the stage, the hours that we spent off together, and it challenged me to learn how to communicate my faith to the world that needs to hear, it, you know.
Very cool.
Very unique opportunity.
Now, did anyone seem to take interest in kind of what was going on? Did you get any opportunities to witness anybody out there?
Very much so. And a lot of the witnessing on the show was more just me listening and loving to people. That was really the dynamic. I grew up and going to Christian school, and witness was like Romans Road, let's talk them through. And for me, my witness at the show was listening and loving and ultimately inviting. There's a girl on one of the teams, Team Blake, her name is Charlotte sometimes, and she said to me, Anthony, I don't do church. When I was 13, I told my parents, I'm never going to church again, which I'm like, can you tell your parents that at 13? Like, I can't tell. I couldn't tell my parents.
But, a little different now.
Yeah, but anyway. I got to listen, got to learned her and heard her story, and we were off on one of our breaks, and I was at Brooklyn Tabernacle leading worship, and 10 rows back was Charlotte. And it wasn't because I popped her over her head with a Bible and told her what was wrong with her, but I just loved and listened, and she came and she's open, and she's kind of told me some stuff that's been going on inside of her since the show, so it's been a journey. But yes, I did have that opportunity. Actually, I think even more off the stage, because what happened in editing, my story became the preacher's kid, so a lot of my worship leader, like Jesus talk, kind of ended up not on the show. So a lot of my witness came from the way I was acting, the way, how people perceive me, which is...
They will know we are Christians by our love. So you have the opportunity to love.
Yeah, it was I really cherish the months that I spent in L.A. because it taught me a lot.
Now, what's changed for you since then? Because I know a lot of people know who you are that didn't know who you were before.
Yeah, since The Voice. It's crazy that feeling what it feels like to sing in front of 17 million people. It's like that finished for us in December, and it aired in February or March. So the impact, it just felt weird. It felt weird to go to the airport and have people being like, oh man, you are the grocery store, and I'm in Illinois and LA and New York. I mean, it's just, that's been really different. And the show provided a lot of work outside of my normal. Like, I got called immediately to do CeeLo's Christmas record and his and the guide vocals and background vocals for that, and a few other. Those producers work with movies and TV, so I'm having to gauge what I'm involved with, you know, because sometimes you get asked to sing stuff, you're like, I'm not singing that, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay.
But the new opportunities are fresh and exciting. I'm getting more opportunity just to love on people who don't necessarily know who we are as believers.
Yeah, very cool. So what from here?
From here, actually, I have an event I'm doing right now for corporations. Like, I'm actually going tonight to sing here at the convention center, and it's corporate stuff, like where I'm the guy from The Voice, you know, I'm the guy from that battle on The Voice tonight. But again, it's another opportunity to stand in front of, tonight's like 10,000 women, or, you know, it's kind of different. It's different, but you know, it's a big convention. So that's what's literally next for me.
Very cool. Well, we're glad you still come back to us, even though you're the guy from The Voice.
Always. The Voice tried one time, or they tried to, my story initially, and most people don't know this. This is insider stuff, right? This is like inside. They said to me, okay, we need your story to be, basically, you were singing Christian music and now you want to leave and do something else. And when you just said, thanks for coming back, in my mind, I'm like, this is home for me. Like, I would not give them that story, because I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's
you never
not
left.
Yeah, my desire was to broaden what I do and to have a bigger impact and to kind of be involved in things I'm not. But but this is what I know. You know what I mean? The last decade of my life has been standing on this stage and singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's always good to come back home where I feel like this is the foundation upon which my career has been built. So thank you.
Oh,
for
no,
allowing
it's
me
great
be
to
here.
have you.
Yeah.
In fact, right now, let's hear Anthony as he sings.
Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow you. Oh, oh, oh. All your ways are good. All your ways are sure. I will trust in you alone. Higher than my sight, high above my life. I will trust in you alone, in you alone. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow you. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. If this life I lose, I will follow you. Follow you. Light into the world, light into my life. I will live for you alone. You're the one I seek, knowing I will find all I need in you alone. In you alone. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow you. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. If this life I lose, I will follow you. You follow you. You in you, there's life everlasting. Freedom for my soul. There's joy, unending joy. I will follow you. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow you. Who you love, I'll love. How you serve, I'll serve. If this life I lose,